So let's start with a simple question. How do you feel when you look in the mirror? We asked 2,000 women to take part in a very honest survey that asked them about their relationship with their body. And the results were fairly shocking. 65%, so almost two-thirds, admitted a lack of body confidence has stopped them from doing things that they'd like to do. And 3/4 said they avoid looking in the mirror completely because of how it makes them feel. 75%. It's shocking, but I get it. Yeah. I'm sort of one of those statistics. Yeah. Some days worse than others, Julie.
I hear it. And it's heartbreaking because, like we said, the fact that, how you think about your body can stop you from being in certain spaces. I'm a plus-size woman, I'm a black woman, I'm a mum. There's so much complexities to me. And I've been in spaces where I felt like I don't fit in because of how I look. I've had men say to me, oh, you'd be so much nicer if you was, like, slimmer or if you was lighter, because colorism is another thing that adds towards body image.
Do people actually say that to you?
Yeah, I've had someone say that. I've had a couple of men say that to me, or people saying, oh, you'd look better a bit smaller to fit into certain things.
How do you react when they say that?
Well, I react like, well, babes, you can log on to Loose Women and see me then, isn't it? That's how But, I got to a stage where I can see, unfortunately, that probably for some people I wouldn't be deemed as Western society's ideal of beauty, being either white, blonde hair and slim. But I think that there's been so much change and things that are moving around that, it's about me accepting who I am. And culturally, coming back from my family who are Jamaican, size, doesn't matter what size you are, it's about your heart, it's about what you want to give, it's about embracing every part of you. And that's the kind of women that I grew up with. It doesn't mean I didn't have my own insecurities or even do these days, but I think it's about trying to move with who you are and having your tribe, your people that makes you feel you're amazing, so you can continue that.
Yeah. That's the interesting thing. Strangely, Julie, I remember, and I've spoken about my sister on the show before, like when she was 18, 19, lost a lot of weight, at like sort of 7, 8 stone at one point. And she's done incredibly well, very into her health and fitness ever since it. But it was, a big mountain to climb to try and work off this weight, and she was very conscious of it at the time. And when she was bigger, we would go out to a bar or a club or whatever, and I'll never forget one night this lady came over in the toilets and her tag was out on the back of her shirt, and she went, oh, I wouldn't be showing that, dear, and tucked it in.
Wow. And
I thought, we were having a great night.
Wow.
You're just talking about surrounding yourself by good people. We had a great night, and this one person we didn't even know ruined it.
And
by making you feel...
It's weird,
just...
Go on.
Sorry, no, absolutely, no. It's just, unfortunately, that does exist, and it's how we manage to deal with the voices that are around us that we don't need to hear all of the time.
And sadly, it comes from other women as well. Often, I think, we think it's sort of the patriarchy or men putting on these standards on us, but often it can be from our own, from women and our friends. I mean, I've had people say things to me like, oh, you're pretty for someone in a wheelchair.
Wow.
And it's the sort of like, oh, do you realise that perhaps your intention with that was to be complimentary, but the impact where that lands it's a backhanded compliment. So there's those...
That's horrible.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about it before we came on, just the kind of ways in which, each of our labels that we have. So you might identify as plus size, I obviously identify as disabled, and where you are on your journey of self-acceptance. And, when I first was injured, it took me a long time to embrace that label. It took me a long time I have to say, I don't think I would have ever done a shoot like this.
Really?
I'd certainly... There's nowhere to hide when you're just in your gym wear and your little bra. I mean, I certainly... No, you were out on show. And I came into the shoot feeling really like, am I ready for this? I've been in hospital, I think, the day before, and I was like, how am I feeling in my body? And it's quite hard when you're disabled to love your body. We talk about body positivity, but we were talking as well about the importance of body neutrality, where you actually just say, I don't need to love it, I certainly don't want to hate it, but I could just be in it and not feel either way, just accept it for what it is.
True.
Yeah. I've always been quite critical of my body as well, believe it or not. I've been into fitness for so many years, and if I look at myself in the mirror, I am very critical, but I think it's because I know where I've got my body shape to before. So aesthetically, most people go, well, you're really strong, you've got muscles or whatever, but this isn't the, you know, my, let's say, muscle to fat ratio is so different. You know, there's one thing being fit, skinny doesn't mean you're fit and healthy either.
Yeah.
So that's that kind of, when the body composition changes, it mentally affects you as well. But also, I think, you know, people look at me and expect that I should be the Olympic champion fitness that I was just because this is...
And it is that iconic, memorable photograph that we all loved you for.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd like to be running that fast, and when I get to a park run, I think I am.
I'm not being funny, Kelly, but I'd have one of those packs if I'm honest with you.
And by the way, Kelly has a midriff that is like iron, and yet she's still thinking, I could be better.
That's interesting. That's where the issue lies.
It's changed for me, you know. Yes, to other people, they think six-pack, but I get, you know, through age and things, the same thing, where when I'm putting on weight, I don't like it. But some days I look and think, I look great. And
your body
days...
has always been a topic, and it's been your profession, and it's always been discussed by strangers, so I think that's an additional pressure.
Yeah. And it's okay. I think that's what you're talking about, it's okay. Because I find one of the things hardest I find is when someone comes up to me and says to me, wow, you're so confident. How? You're basically saying, for a big gal, you should be so confident. Why? Why? Do you know what I mean?
But I think all of these sort of remarks sort of reflect on the person saying it, doesn't it? You know, for whatever their reasons, maybe they're saying something like you say, so they don't mean it the way that it sounds. But yeah, it's a case of us all having to slightly reprogram ourselves, maybe for various different reasons.